Okay, hello.
Hello.
Welcome, guys, to episode 34 of Hello Hello the podcast. I am Raammo, joined by Jenz,
What's up?
and today we have probably one of the biggest episodes we've
We
done
have a
in quite a
chunky.
while. We have the big Gamescom roundup episode with a bunch of extra stuff thrown in towards the end. Um, this is gonna be a long, boys, so buckle up, get some snacks, get a drink,
Have
sit
a
down.
sit or go
You're
for
in.
start your
You're
walk.
in. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Start exercising. Get outside. Do some activities. Get some vitamin D in you.
Yes. It's
Um,
so
as we
nice.
talk
I
about
don't know
video
if
games.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's quite. Yeah, it's a little bit overcasty over here. A
Oh,
little bit
okay.
overcasty, but
Very sunny.
yeah,
I had to draw
it
my
was nice earlier.
curtains.
Yeah, that's it. It's too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, but no, before we get into our big news topics for the week, Jens, I just want to quickly catch up and see what you've been doing for the past week.
um Streaming. What have I been playing? What's been new? Nothing.
Everything. You've been playing everything.
Yeah, but nothing new since last week. I've
No,
been
nothing. Yeah.
Oh, we tried the Phasmophobia update.
That's true.
Mm.
Phasmophobia did come up with a new update a little while ago, and we've been meaning to play it. We did finally sit down and play it.
It's pretty decent of an update.
Kind of fun. Yeah, it's not bad. For a free update, can't complain.
They've made it
It does make
hard,
the
which
game
is
harder,
good.
as we've discovered. Yep.
Yeah.
It's good too because when we first played it, obviously I don't know if they had difficulties in the
No.
first part of the game that we played. I don't remember there being difficulties, but that I implemented like a difficulty feature so you can choose if you want it like easy, medium, or I guess hard when you eventually unlock it.
Yeah.
And it does actually change how hard it is. It's quite well done. But yeah, some good spookums. It's always good to go and get a little bit of a frat. So it was good to go back. Yeah, hopefully they keep pushing more updates in the near future as well. And we get some more
Yeah,
maps,
that'd be good.
more spookums monsters. I did see a bunch of people in chat saying that like some of the enemies now sing. And they sing I forget what song it was,
by
but
Daylight.
they sing like yeah, it's from Dead by Daylight or something. And I was like, it just got me thinking. I was like, do you maybe think they might be doing like a crossover in the near future?
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to see.
I saw
because you don't just put in another part of a game just willy nilly.
Yeah.
Obviously they've had some communications to be like, yeah, that's fine to do. So it could be on the tables. Who knows?
I saw a TikTok of like the Phasmophobia update, and like this person was trying to communicate with the ghosts, and it's really like the ghosts are really more responsive now. And like I think she asked, "Where are you?" And he's like, "I'm behind you."
Oh yeah, I think I saw that same TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that sort of stuff they've improved on, and like there are more items, and items do work now. That was an issue last time. Some items didn't work, like the motion sensor.
Some of the items didn't. Yeah, they didn't work that well. So
yeah, so it's
good
nice.
they tweaked it, and they've.
Yeah,
it's a good little facelift for the game. I guess
totally.
a good little improvement. I did read the patch notes in the previous update before this one. The main developer did say that it was just one guy that was making this originally. which is why probably updates were quite few and far between. Unless they were pressing bug updates and stuff like that. But he said with all of the success from Phasmophobia that he's had, he's been able to hire 2 more people to help him, help develop the game and stuff. So one was an artist, and then another was a programmer, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, sick.
So good on them. It's nice to see little indie games like this getting the limelight and helping boost their their prowess in the games industry. It's good to see. So. Well done, Phasmophobia.
Yeah,
Keep
good
it up.
on you guys. Do check it out. Would recommend.
Yeah, it's a very fun game. It's a lot more fun with friends too. So if you can rope a couple of friends to get it as well and come and play with you, it's so much fun.
Yeah,
it's real good. I myself haven't been doing too much. Uni's been quite busy this week. I had an exam. Yesterday, no, the day before on Tuesday. It was just a little quick mid-session quiz type thing. Nothing too crazy. so I've been studying for that. Haven't been really playing too many games. But yeah, have been still watching The Office. And what did we watch last night? Ooh, um, sorry, excuse me. Choke myself up just getting excited about it. We watched The Conjuring 3 last
Oh,
night.
did you like it?
After your recommendation, I didn't even know that it was on streaming services yet. I thought it was.
I
Still
didn't know it was on
cinemas, or we
streaming
were still
services
waiting for
either.
it to come out. And yeah, no. So we tracked it down. Really good, actually.
Isn't
Really
it?
good.
It's probably
I
my
quite
favorite.
enjoyed it. You know, I mean, the Conjuring movies have always been like, if you ask any sort of like real horror movie buff, people are like, ugh, The Conjuring, no. But like, if you're a casual horror fan, or like if you sort of like movies that like intertwine with each other and sort of all have a connecting overarching story, the Conjuring movies are pretty good.
Yeah.
Because they've always followed the same like investigators throughout the three main films, and then also
Yes.
slightly through the spin-off films too. Ed and Lorraine Warrens. You know, it's yeah, but I did enjoy it, and I think Emma did too. There wasn't too many spooks like and scares. It
No.
wasn't the most scary, you know, Conjuring movie or sort of horror movie I've seen, but it was still enjoyable. You know, yeah, I enjoyed it. But we did realize as well that there's like a bunch of other Conjuring spin-off movies that we haven't seen.
Apparently they're
Like
not
I've seen the first
great.
Annabelle movie. I think there's like 2 more Annabelle movies as well.
Yeah.
There's The Nun, which was, yeah, I've heard they're all pretty shite as well, but like I
Yeah.
still want to watch them just to see where they fill in the gaps and like what they sort of divulge, I guess.
Yeah, because we didn't get a
Um,
lot of Annabelle in the first one. I was like, oh, this is an Annabelle movie
No.
because that's what the
Yeah.
ghost is. But then we only really have a couple of encounters with her, and it was mostly about something else.
Yeah,
So I guess that's why they did
exactly.
the spin-offs.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I highly recommend
Yeah.
the Conjuring series. They're great.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Especially the first 2 in the mainline like
Mm.
series. They're really good. I highly recommend those. But I guess, Jens, without further ado, because we are already
Yes.
nearly 5 minutes into recording.
I know.
And we have 3 pages, and I shit you not, guys, 3 pages worth of material to read off here.
Yep.
And go over. It is incredible.
We usually have 1 or 1.5, so it's gonna be
one and a bit. One and a
Yeah.
bit. It's gonna be a long one. But yeah, like we said last week too, Gamescom did just happen.
Yep.
It was last week as we were recording the episodes and uploading it all, and you guys were listening to it. Gamescom was actively happening. All the announcements were coming out. So you guys have probably already heard a bunch of these things if you're sort of in the limelight or on social media. But we're going to give our little brief recap as to the sort of ones that we're most excited about or that sound the coolest to us.
Mhm.
I went through a ton of articles and write-ups about all the Gamescom announcements because there was just so much that were announced. And people they didn't want to fit it all on one webpage, so they split it up. It was, yeah. My God. Xbox Gens was the first day of Gamescom, or sort of like just the day before it all really kicked off.
Yeah.
And they announced a bunch of new games and sort of, well, not new games, but like it just, you know, touched on things that are still coming out in the near future. They announced a couple of small updates and expansions for some of their mainline games as well, which is kind of cool to see. So I guess we'll just start off. They showcased some more Forza Horizon 5 gameplay. Still looks absolutely incredible. The Forza games have always looked really nice.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the new Xbox and the new console generation out, they've got a little bit more power behind them. So these games now look even better. They're going to have ray tracing, you know, 60 frames per second, all that good stuff you can expect. And I don't know if you saw it, Jens, but they announced a really cool controller to go alongside the launch of the game.
Oh, for the Forza one? Yeah.
Yes, it's like see-through kind of, like
Yep.
yellowy, looks very Forza Horizon with like all the flares and
All
like,
the
you know, the neon
paint and,
colors and
like,
stuff like that.
so
Yeah,
good.
looks really cool. Super fun.
I love see-through stuff.
Yeah. My Xbox controller currently is like, where is it actually? It's down here.
Mine's matte. Mine's the
Yeah,
default.
Yeah, mine's matte, but it's got like like half of it is see-through.
Oh,
And then
really?
the other half is like, yeah, I'm showing the camera now. Half is see-through, the other half is like a silvery sort of
Ooh.
color on the bottom. It's really cool. I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and get
yeah,
my hands
ever
on
since, yeah, I think I'm the same as well. I need to get a little upgrade going. But yeah, ever since like, you know, I first started playing video games, my N64, they had see-through transparent controllers. Like, you know, the Game Boys was see-through and transparent. Some
Oh
of them.
yeah, I remember the
It's
Game
like-
Boys being see-through. They were sick.
Yeah, it's it's sort of always been a thing in
Yeah,
gaming, I guess. Like the controllers always had some sort of see-through capability to them, so it's cool to see them bring it back a little bit here as well.
totally.
In modern consoles and stuff. Um, Moving on though,
Mm-hmm.
really weird title for a game. The Gunk, Jens.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
Sounds kind of sus. It sounds
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
sus.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, after after being revealed over a year ago now, the dev team finally confirmed that the game, The Gunk, that they have been working really hard on, is finally releasing this December exclusively for the Xbox family and PC.
Ah,
So you're only going to find it on all the Xbox consoles and on your PC as well. I'm assuming it's going to be part of Games Pass 2.
hopefully.
Or you can at least expect it to be, but yeah, looks pretty cute actually. Though, having said that, as much as the title of the game sort of is kind of off-putting,
Mm,
it looks like a cute action adventure platformer. Where you have to like cleanse the world from an evil gunk that has started to consume it.
cute.
So I don't know if you ever played De Blob or if you remember De Blob.
No.
But kind of similar in concept to that, where like
So it's
the
twin
world
brother.
was full of color and all this sort of stuff, and then these people started to come in and they started to suck the color out of the world, and you had to go back and repaint the
Oh,
world and cleanse it, I guess, from all
sounds
the
like
black and whiteness. But
humans.
kind of, yeah, it was probably what, I don't know what it would have been, maybe 10, 11, 12-year-old Jake was probably thinking, this is a cute game, but no, it was actually probably like a political and environmental
I think
statement
so.
on the current state of the world.
Yeah.
Looking back on it now, that's actually kind of probably on point. Yeah, might have
Yeah.
to write a little essay on that or something. Um, uh, Crusader Kings 3, not the biggest fan of these games. The strategy
Either.
games these days I don't play too much of. Back in the day, I did play a little bit of Age of Empires, but since then I haven't really touched it. But Crusader Kings 3 is coming to console, strangely enough.
Mm.
This is kind of weird because you usually don't see these types of strategy games on consoles,
Yeah.
just because trying to control it and navigate the UI and like select enemy types and all that things, it's a little bit tricky on a controller. You kind of need a keyboard and mouse to be able to do it effectively. But the devs have actually reworked this a little bit to be able to be released on console. They completely revamped the UI and the controls so it can be effectively ported to consoles, I guess, which is kind of cool to see. I guess
Interesting.
if you were interested in Crusader Kings 3 and you couldn't get it because you
Yeah.
didn't have a PC, this is now a good a good first step for you guys. It'd be interesting to see if other companies as well follow in the footsteps of Paradox and start to do this as well. Because there's sort of no real downside to it, I guess. More consoles and more devices, it sort of means more sales
Hmm.
potentially. So it'd be cool to see, but kind of interesting they do this. Stray Blade, not Stray, the game that we're all excited for, but Stray Blade was announced. Action role playing game that sees you switch between two adventurers in the world surrounding you, shifts and adapts depending on your successes or failures, which
Oh,
is kind of interesting. So it might be similar in concept to
the medium?
like Shadow of Mordor and things like that as well. And the Medium too, yeah. Where like I guess the decisions that you know have throughout the game impact what the world will look like or how it will evolve and things like that, which is kind of interesting. It's always cool to see those types of things
Yeah.
unfold and unravel, and it also like it's cool for streamers and content creators and things because everyone's playthrough is going to be slightly different. Depending on what you do and how you do it. So it's cool for viewers to come in after they've played it or they've played through a little bit of it and be like, oh, this is new to me. Like I've never seen this before because I did this
Mm-hmm.
3 hours ago. Like it's yeah. I always like seeing those types of things unfold as well.
Same.
And hearing other people's experiences. It's kind of fun and interesting. So yeah, that'll be releasing in 2022 though, so still a little while away, but just around the corner. I did allude to before we were getting some small updates and expansions to some of the existing like Xbox games and family. So Sea of Thieves, a game that we've been playing a little bit of, with a couple of my friends, is getting a Borderlands event
Very
from the
interesting.
21st of August to September 7th. Kind of a weird crossover, but
Yeah.
it's kind of cool though how they're doing it. They're releasing a whole sort of like ship design that you
Uh-huh.
can collect throughout the game, but you have to do certain quests for it
Yeah, of course.
this time. Usually they sort of either like just give it out to you in a drop or like after doing one or two things. But this is like they're upgrading it a little bit. You
Yeah,
know, they're
cool.
making you work for it a bit more, which is kind of cool to see. I really like that. And I think the quests, we haven't played it just yet, but looking at the date, we do need to finish it because it's ending quite soon.
Yeah, you should.
But I think they said the quests were Borderland inspired. You
Yeah.
know, like they're not just straight up like go here, collect this thing, come back. They were like, you know, they're tweaking it to
They
make
probably
it
have
more
Claptrap or
Borderlands,
something.
which is fun to see. Yeah, I think that was on the front of the ship. I forget what it's called.
Oh,
They
like
have,
what
like,
that
this
mermaid
big-
is usually.
Yeah. But I think that is Claptrap
Yeah.
in the ship's design, which is
That's
kind of
cool.
interesting and fun. So it was, yeah. So I need to go and play it and get it. Wasteland 3 is getting an expansion in October. The Cult of Holy Detonation sounds kind of fun.
That
For
sounds
all the
like
Wasteland 3 fans,
a
that's
good
coming out
time.
soon. It does, yeah. There was further down as well. I'm getting a lot of cult vibes in the games coming out for the next year or two, because I think there was at least another 2 or 3 games that had like cult vibes to them and cult aspects that I found later on. So it's like the year of cults, I guess. You know,
They're bringing it back.
Kind of strange. They are. State of Decay 2 is getting an expansion, which is sort of just like a throwback expansion, I guess, because they've reworked the original map from State of Decay 1 and sort of upgraded it a little bit. And they're putting it in State of Decay 2, so players can go back and sort of fight off zombies where it all began, which is kind of interesting if you're a big State of Decay fan. And finally, kind of exciting, Microsoft Flight Sim is getting its first major expansion, Jens.
Ooh.
It improves upon a bunch of locations surrounding Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, and it adds over 100 points of interest and several new airports. There is a trailer that'll probably have hopefully behind us for this. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I cannot describe it to you.
Do I need to bring the
looks
sex
incredible.
out?
I don't know if you've ever seen. I was gonna say we might have to bring the sex out. I don't know if you've ever seen in and around Germany and Austria, but they have a bunch of like old medieval castles still set up and all that sort of stuff. They've added those in the game, so you can like fly around them.
Cool.
They look absolutely gorgeous. It's
All
so
right, we're gonna
I
have to
think
go
we do
back
have to go
into
and check it
the
out.
cockpit.
Yeah, I think so. And then finally, as I sort of alluded to before, I did play a little bit of Age of Empires back in the day. Not so much these days, but they might draw me back in with Age of Empires 4.
I didn't expect this.
Yeah, me neither. But it's kind of fun. It's like always been a thing that they probably should add in these types of games, you know, these sort of historical-ish games. But the team behind Age of Empires 4 gave us a sort of a new look at this feature they've called the hands-on history feature, which is coming to the game. It's a series of almost 30 videos that you'll be able to unlock as you progress through the game to showcase how people lived at the time and give more context on the history. It's actually a really cool feature, you know, like I sort of, it's kind of,
great for kids,
I guess, for all the, that's what I was thinking. It's like, I remember getting my first copy of Age of Empires out of a Neutral Grain box.
Yeah.
Back in the day, gents. You would buy a box of Neutral Grain.
I can't believe you got
you'd
games
have a whole game, Age of Empires in there.
From your cereal boxes.
Yeah, I know. Right?
We got fucking toys.
How
That's
cool
it.
was that? Yeah, no. We were cool. You know, Kellogg's was cool back in the day. They don't do it. They don't do it anymore. But Kellogg's are cool, but once at a time.
That's really cool.
And like it was always, you know, Age of Empires has always been history based and sort of revolving around different points in history and all the battles and things they did. But they've never really had sort of any context or any other information that you can explore other than you going outside the game and Googling it yourself and trying to look it up. So this is really cool to see. You know, I might have to pick up Age of Empires 4 just to check out the history stuff for all the history notes. Yeah. And then I'm just going to jump down to the end here. Finally, sort of the biggest announcement from the Xbox event, which I'm sure most of you guys have heard about. Saints Row is getting a reboot, Jens.
Yes.
Saints Row.
I've never played Saints Row.
I have played a little bit of it. I was never the biggest fan of Saints Row.
Okay.
I don't know if I could just never get into sort of the gameplay. It was a bit too wacky and weird for me. I've sort of much preferred Grand Theft Auto when it's like Grand Theft Auto was more grounded in realism, whereas Saints Row really sort of, you know, was quite extravagant and whatnot. But yeah, we're getting a Saints Row reboot, which is interesting. Not a remake, a reboot. They're doing the whole thing from scratch again. It's coming out February 25th, 2022, so it's quite soon. For all of the consoles and PCs, so PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Series X, Windows PC, and Epic Games Store. It's yeah, I'm kind of excited. I'm interested to see where they go with it. I wonder if they're going to keep the whole wackiness and craziness of it. I would assume they would to a certain
Probably.
degree, but
Yeah.
but I wonder if they're going to tone it down a little bit to make it a bit more realistic, or if they're going to turn it up more to make it even more wacky. Who knows? Um,
Yeah, I'm curious. We'll
but yeah,
see.
very interesting. Yeah,
Try
I'm
it out.
curious too. I would expect there should be some more. I think there was a little bit of gameplay showed, but they should be getting over the next couple of weeks and months. We're getting tons of more gameplay and sort of deep dives into it to, I guess, help people make their
Yeah.
mind up if it's a game for them. Um, but yeah, that was kind of it. Other than some Call of Duty stuff too, but we all know Call of Duty is coming out.
Yeah, this
For
year.
the Xbox event. Um, but then we scroll down, Jens. We're
Mm.
still on the second half of the second page now,
There's a
and I
lot,
got
guys.
more. I got more to go. I'm not done yet. Now, I did remember. I did talk to you about before about the Colts.
Mm.
Midwinter, a co-op stealth action game where you're a werewolf battling cultists.
Ooh.
It actually looks kind of fun too.
This
So
looks
like I said, you play
interesting.
werewolf during the night, where you must battle cultists to help cleanse this village. I'm assuming. But during the day, when you're not as a werewolf and you're sort of under your normal
Oh,
persona, you can
wow.
like interact with the villagers, and you can help and talk to them, and do little tasks, I guess, for them to help you like prep the town, I guess, for the nightly battles.
I wonder, do you have to
It's got
not
like a layer of strategy to it.
blow your cover?
I think so. Yeah, I think there was I was watching the trailer very shortly before. There's like a 2-minute little breakdown video.
Uh-huh.
And the lead designer or dev for this was sort of explaining, I guess, how some of the the concepts in the game work.
Yeah.
And at one point he did during the daytime cross a bridge, or he would try to cross a bridge, but there were like fireflies or something on it that helped like reveal his true identity or something. And so obviously he couldn't cross the bridge, because if he did, he would be outed as a werewolf and the town would hate him, and he'd be like,
Right.
they can't help you anymore. They try to kill him. So it was, there's kind of like a layer of strategy to it.
Yeah, cool.
As well as just the combat and things like that. But interesting to see what the co-op sort of side to it is, because I didn't see too much of that in the little breakdown video.
Yeah.
But might be an interesting game for us, Jens. I'm not too sure.
Do we have to dress up as werewolves? That'd be dope.
Oh, one could be a werewolf, one could be a cultist. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. I like this idea now. Having said that, there is no release date just yet, but we're expecting probably a 2022 sometime.
Yeah.
So sometime next year. But I'm going to keep my eyes and ears to the ground for this one, because it seems pretty fun. When you were growing up, Jens, did you ever watch Mythbusters?
Yes, I'm so excited about this. This has been on my wish list ever since I saw it on Steam, and now that there's actually a date-ish. Oh my god! Wait, why are you surprised? Mythbusters was the best thing in the world.
I know. I'm a big Mythbusters fan myself. I love the TV series. I love and they even did the Netflix sort of spin-off thing. But this doesn't look like a fun game.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen the trailer.
I do recommend watching it. There was the one that I watched was like a little, I think it was like a 45-second to a minute little trailer thing. But I described it as House Flipper times Kerbal Space Program. It just, I don't know. It looks kind of sort of wonky, and I don't know if it's what you would. It's kind of hard, I guess, to translate a Mythbusters game as well into a Mythbusters sort of series into a video game.
It is.
It's
It'll feel very.
I'd be interested to see how it turns out when it does come out, because it is just around the corner, coming out Q4 2021. So
this year,
within a couple of months now, I would assume. I want to see though. Is it on Steam here? Mythbusters the game. Yeah. Does it have a No, there's no price. See?
Yeah, no price. So
this is the thing. This is the thing that I'm concerned about. I'm like, it's got the Mythbusters tag on it, so obviously they've had to buy some rights for it, or get an IP for it or something. There's obviously probably going to be a substantial cost behind it, or more substantial than what you would expect.
I hope not. But yeah, I don't know. I like the idea of it. It's great because I love the show.
Yeah.
But I also think it could,
Same.
yeah, it could be bad.
It's kind of a coin toss at the moment. It could go either way, I think, you know.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, cautiously optimistic. We'll put it in that category. You know, we're on the cautiously optimistic side for the Mythbusters game. And now you're also a Dark Souls fan, Jenz. I don't know if you've heard of this, but Sands of Aura.
I have not.
No, okay. So the dev describes it as a deliberate and punishing combat style. So it's kind of a Dark Souls-esque,
Sounds about
game.
right. Yeah.
But it's like a third person. Think of what was the game that you recently played with the bird?
With the bird.
Death's Door.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like it has that camera to it, so it's like, you know, kind of interesting. But yeah, it you know, looks interesting. Comes to early access on October 21st this year. So I guess if you want to check it out, you can. But it's it seems kind of cool. You know, nothing groundbreaking. We've had a bunch of sort of Dark Souls-esque games come out since Dark Souls has been around and been quite popular. So, you know, I they could just be trying to jump on that sort of hype train for it. But yeah, you know, I guess check it out if you're a Dark Souls fan, or if you just want to be like slapped around by a game. Interesting.
Hey, no kink shame, all right?
No, hey, you teach their own. Now, Jenz, you're a big plant fan. So this one should be right up your alley.
I'm just looking it up now.
This a little bit for me.
The trailer.
It looks kind of fun. It's a game called Strange Horticulture. It's a puzzle game. Again, going back to the cult thing.
Oh my god, it's cute.
A puzzle game where you run an occult plant store.
Why is it a cult plant store?
I don't know.
Like, why?
The whole cult thing, it's coming back, man. I don't know. I guess it's probably...
Maybe it's the mystery behind it.
Could it be a statement on everyone on TikTok and Instagram having now become plant fiends? You know, like everyone and their uncle has 50 different plants in their house now. Could it be like a statement on that?
I don't know. I feel like that's a bit of a stretch.
Am I reaching?
I think you're reaching.
I'm probably reaching.
I think you're reaching.
There is a demo available now for this game, so I might go and have to check that out after this. But it releases sometime in 2022, so it's, you know, still a little while away. Looks kind of fun, looks kind of spooky, kind of puzzly. You know, all the good things wrapped into one little bundle. Yeah, I'm kind of interested in this. You know, I'll check it out. I'll check out the puzzle, the demo. Sorry for it. I'm always down for more puzzle games. So, yes, yeah. And Park Beyond, this one I'm kind of excited about. I have always been a big fan of, you know, theme park simulator games, or like designing your own roller coaster and all
Tycoon.
that sort of stuff. Yeah. Oh man, what a game! I played the shit out of that back in the day too. I don't know where I can't remember if I got that out of a cereal box. I don't think I did. I think that was gifted to me by like a neighbor or a cousin.
Oh really? Wow.
But yeah, I got Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, I think it was. I got gifted to me, so very happy for that because I played the shit out of that game. That game was great.
I know, right?
But one of the limitations in that game was that you couldn't just build whatever you wanted because physics are a thing, as we all know. You know, science just gets in the way of everything fun, I feel these days. But Park Beyond, and the dev, I like this word that the devs used to sort of describe it. They called it impossification, which is, you know, obviously a made up word. But it seems to imply that Park Beyond isn't going to let too many real life physics issues get in the way of making these crazy, wacky, absurd, insane.
Oh, that's great.
Bonkers coasters. So I'm really excited to see what other people come up with in some of these roller coasters, because it's always been a thing. Like, you could only ever make a certain style of roller coaster in, you know, Parkitect or Roller Coaster Tycoon, or there was another one, Planet Coaster. Like, you could only ever go to a certain height. You could only ever do so many like really sharp turns or so many loop-de-loops, because when you tested it, it would be like, no, this is too dangerous for people. People would die, and I'm like, ugh, that's boring. But yeah, it's this seems kind of interesting. It's also made by the developers of Tropico 6 and some of the other Tropico games. So
Okay.
they've already got their mindset to simulator games and those types of things. So it's super interested for this. This one's on my radar for sure. We'll definitely be checking it out. And now, gents, I thought this one would also be up your alley too. It's already out. It's been
It's
I think it
out.
was announced as out now when they announced it
The
at
Gamescom.
Gamescom.
Yeah.
But it's called Murder Mystery Machine, and it's a detective noir puzzler. You play as a detective in a district crime agency, and you're charged with organizing evidence, gathering clues, and sifting through the red herrings to present your
Ooh.
findings. So it seems like you could go and interview people. You could sort of like walk around the crime scene and like discover, evidence and clues and whatnot, and sort of write up this whole case, and then go and present it and be like, you did the murder. This is why.
Like Cluedo.
Kind of like Cluedo, kind of like, what was the Rockstar game?
Sherlock?
The detective one. The detective, not Sherlock. I have it here on Steam. Just gotta find it.
Nancy Drew?
No. But it's also like LA Noire, kind of like that too, in a sense. Like, you walk around the crime scene, you find the murder weapon, you're like, okay,
That's right,
write this
yeah.
down in a notebook, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for this. It probably also has some. It's an animated game. They just came to Steam. I'm not going to think of this one because I haven't played it, but it's been on my list for a while. But like you're in a courthouse and you get to accuse people of doing murders and stuff like that.
Phoenix
Yeah,
Wright.
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Phoenix Wright. Yeah, Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright. That's what. Thank you.
That's
You got
it.
there in the end.
Objection.
That was gonna bug the shit out of me. Yeah, that's the one. It's probably gonna have some kind of that aspect to it too.
Yeah.
So it's got got all your fun crime stuff there, and also probably gonna be some cult stuff in here too. I'm assuming. Probably.
Always.
You can safely assume at least. But yeah, this one's probably also for all of like the murder and true crime podcast fiends out there too. It's out now on PlayStation, Xbox, and computers. So go and pick it up. Seems kind of interesting. Moving down, this one I'm super excited for, Jenz. I don't know if you heard about it, but DokeV, DokeV, I don't know, but it's a Korean developed Pokemon-esque adventure game, and it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
looks incredible. And I know it's probably like tinted, like the tinted lens, and I'm looking from a distance, but it and it's like probably just a stylized
really
trailer that they've shown and all that. It looks super cute. Very colorful, very bright, super loud, like pops of color, like it's very in your face in a sort of style. But it's like a Pokemon-esque adventure game.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Which is kind of interesting, people are always trying to get in on the Pokemon train.
Yeah,
because they're so popular, and I wonder if DokeV is going to do it. I probably will check it out at some point. I don't know when it comes out. I don't think there was a release date announced. But it's in the works. It seems like there's lots of diverse different enemy styles and designs and combat sort of types and whatnot. And it looks like there's a ton of different ways to sort of move around the map and
you can have a llama mount.
Exactly, Jenz. That's what I'm thinking. Like you can ride the monsters that you seemingly like, capture and control and things like that. You can like jet ski ride. You can fly. You have rollerblades. I saw a screenshot where someone was like Spider-Man swinging through the city. I was like, this game looks fucking bonkers, man. It's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's insane. Like
I might have to start this.
I don't know what to say, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh my god, it's really pretty. Like the
that's what I'm thinking. I'm like
the trees and shit
the whole
are
world
really
looks
nice.
really pretty. But I'm like, are we looking from like, is it like an Oasis thing where when the game like finally comes out, it's gonna look half as good as that? Because that's like a stylized trailer. They've all rendered and animated and stuff like that themselves. But who knows? But yeah, it looks super fun. I'm quite excited for it. I'm always down for more Pokemon type games. I'm a big Pokemon fan myself. So
yeah.
excited to see what they do with this and how it goes. Um, and now another one that I'm exceptionally excited for, and a lot of other Marvel fans are too. Marvel Midnight Suns, it's called. It's from the studio that brought you XCOM and Civilization. And it's like a tactical based sort of, XCOM-y Marvel game, I guess. Official gameplay won't be revealed until September 1st, so it's already out as of recording
Yeah.
now. But we're told to expect plenty of narrative choices, relationship building, and they're actually developing a brand new hero that's going to be sort of put in the game as the character you play, I guess. Designed by both Marvel and Firaxis, the developers. And you'll be able to fully customize it, I guess. Give it powers, give it costumes, give it
Very
outfits,
interesting.
all that sort of cool stuff. Kind of interesting, yeah. And it's got like the whole cast of all your Marvel heroes and villains that you can expect to see in it. Wolverine was a big one. Ghost Rider was there, I saw. I don't know if Spider-Man's a part of it, but I really hope he is. Yeah, I can't wait for this. I'm always down for more Marvel games. It's cool to see. So I will probably be checking this one out. Having said that, Jenz, did you see the post from Tom Holland on Instagram recently? It's fucking adorable.
It's very cute. So I also hate it, but it's very cute. I love it so much.
I'm conflicted, because I want to be Spider-Man, but like he's Spider-Man, and
and I want to be Zendaya, but I'm not.
This is very true. We all want to be someone, but unfortunately not. It's super adorable. I saw it at like 1 a.m. last night, and I was like, oh man,
it's very cute. If you don't follow Tom Holland on Instagram, you should.
Please do. He's a gem. He
really is.
Ugh, what a guy. We all strive to be like him, but we can't. Because anyone, Tom Holland. Moving on though, sort of the last game that I want to bring up here, Jenz. I think we've talked about this game like 6 or 7 times now. Probably. Because the release date just keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. But Lego the Skywalker Saga, the new Lego game that's coming out, that's going to have all of the Lego Star Wars games sort of wrapped up into one bundle, remade from the ground up, different combat system.
Oh wow,
everything's all that good remade? Stuff we've explained like 50 times. It's like remade, yeah. It's an entirely new game basically. It's got a new release date of spring 2022 now. So
will it stick?
The goalposts keep getting shifted. I don't know, Jenz. At this rate, it's like I am sort of just give me the game at some point, as long as it comes out. I just want it in my hands in a controller.
Totally.
But yeah, so spring 2022, we can look forward to that. Hopefully, no more delays. This is a pretty big window they've given themselves, so hopefully they can stick with it. Obviously a lot of this delays have been because of COVID and things out of their hands. It's nothing they can really control, so it's just an unfortunate nature. But it's I'm still sticking with it. I'm still excited for it, no matter the delays they get. Just as long as they release a fully fledged out, and working game, I'm down for it. It's And Jenz, you sent me this over the weekend or a couple of days ago.
Yesterday.
But we got up. I can't remember. There's so many things that we see throughout the week that they just all merge into one at some point. But we got our first look at the Resident Evil movie reboot that's coming out on Netflix. So Jenz, take it away for us because you're kind of excited for this as well.
I am excited because I do love Resident Evil, and I'm really curious on how the movie's going to go. But basically, not sure if this has been announced before, but the release date is going to be November 24th in the US, so maybe the 25th for us. Hopefully.
I mean, if it's on Netflix, isn't it?
It says set for release in theaters in the US on November 24th, so I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, this could be a different. I could be thinking of something completely different here. This could be
maybe you were thinking about
reboot, and then Netflix is doing their own thing.
Yeah, I don't know, because I thought that was a TV series, but maybe I'm thinking about Left 4 Dead. Anyways,
yeah. See what
we'll find out.
Too much stuff.
We'll find out. The reboot basically adapts the plot of Resident Evil 1 and 2, blending the stories from both games in a single narrative. So that will mean that we have characters from both 1 and 2. And we got the reveal of the cast this week. So Jill Valentine is going to be played by Hannah John Kamen, who is Ghost in Ant-Man. She's great. Very, very keen to
Mm.
see that. Chris Redfield is played by Robbie Amell, who's been in Modern Family, and that's
Yes,
pretty much.
I know Robbie Amell. Yep.
I don't know where else he's from, like of recent.
He's if you've ever watched any of the CW superhero shows,
Yeah,
like
that's where
Arrow or Flash
yeah.
or any of those, he was in I forget the character he played, but he played a character in a bunch of those.
Right,
And
okay.
that's where I know him from. I
Okay,
haven't
yeah.
seen too much of him in any other things, but he's that's where I know him from.
Albert Wesker is being played by Tom Hopper, who is in Umbrella Academy and Game of Thrones. And for the Resident Evil 2s, we got Leon Kennedy, played by Avon Jogia, who was in Zombieland Double Tap, so the second Zombieland. Doesn't look very Leon.
I like this casting.
But I like the diversity. He doesn't look
very Leon, but he already knows how to
he does know
fight
zombies. Yeah. True.
He's been in Zombieland. He's now in Resident Evil. He knows how to fight zombies. I'm excited for this. So he's got the roll down pat. Casting. Yeah.
And then Claire Redfield is played by Kaya Scodelario. I love her. I think she's great for Claire. I know her from Skins. She's in the Skins TV series. She is amazing, and I think she'll be great for this role. So yeah, that's the main cast. It's gonna be really interesting. There's a lot of people in this, so I'm wondering.
Yeah, they've added in like all of the sort of main protagonists, I guess, bar a couple. Like from the Resident Evil series. So it's kind of always daunting when they do that, especially for a first run of the gate movie thing. Like obviously this is a reboot, and they've done some other Resident Evil films in the past to sort of no real fanfare. But it's like I know in the past when they've done and just tried to cram a bunch of characters into one movie, it never really works because
you don't connect with them.
You run out of time to fully flesh out. Yeah, you run out of time to fully flesh out the characters.
Yeah.
And it gives the audience no time, like Jen says, to connect with them and sort of get their whole gist and all that. So I'm wondering. Hopefully they can pull it off.
I'm wondering because it's from a game, but people already know the characters. I'm wondering if that's going to be enough. I'm wondering if that's what they're putting their hopes on. But we'll see. I'm curious on what the bad guy is going to be, because it's a mesh between 1 and 2. Resident Evil 1's bad guy. Who was the bad guy in the 1? I know 2 was Mr. X. I don't think I played 1, so I'm going to have to Google that. So yeah, I'm wondering if it's if it's 2 bad guys from each of the movies, or one completely or just one of them, or someone completely different. But not sure.
I guess I sort of don't want to know now. I sort of want to go and see it and be surprised when he finally appears, or she finally appears, or whoever it is finally appears. I feel like that'd be really cool.
I agree.
Because I feel like a lot of these days, in trailers they sort of just spoil. It's fun to go into things sort of blind and come out surprise me, oh wow, that was interesting. I never expected that. And so I feel like if they announce things like this, it's what's the point in even seeing it now? I feel like we already know so much.
Yeah, I hate watching trailers for that reason. I like going in not knowing anything.
Yeah.
The bet is
same,
don't
same.
have
And
any expectations.
It was my gripe with the Spider-Man trailer. I was I don't want to watch it, but I physically had to, just because there was so much surrounding me. You could not unless I blindfolded myself and put headphones on for 3 months until the movie came out. I was going to see it at some point. It was just going to appear because my feed is just tailored towards me. So it's I succumbed to it, but I really didn't want to. I've been so good so far in being able to dodge all the other sort of Marvel trailers that I have been able to sort of not want to watch and whatnot. But it's having said that, what I said before about Netflix, they did release earlier in the year a sort of animated series called Infinite Darkness on Netflix. So that's already out. There's a couple of episodes I can see here. This one that we're talking about, this movie, is called Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. And then also, this is where I got a bit confused. Netflix is also producing a live action series, which is yet to get a premiere date and sort of announcement and release date for it.
Or
Also,
Resident Evil?
there's a bunch. Yeah, for Resident Evil. So there's a
Weird.
new Resident Evil sort of series coming out, I guess, as well, which is live action. Netflix is currently in production of it, I'm assuming, but it's yet to get a premiere date, so we don't know when it's exactly coming. Probably next year sometime. I very much doubt it'll be this year. But so it's, if you're a Resident Evil fan, it's it's a good time to be a fan, I guess.
Do check out the games, yeah.
Yeah, especially the rebooted ones, Resident Evil 2 and 3, and then 7 and 8. They're exceptional.
7, 8, yeah.
Very
2, 3,
good
7,
games.
8. That's pretty much the ones you should.
That you play through. Yeah, I think I also saw. I think it was Twitter. Let me pull up Twitter here, and the Resident Evil account on Twitter posted a pretty damning tweet, which I saw a couple of days ago. It was now. Let me find it here.
Okay.
I don't know if they've removed it. 20th of August. Okay, yeah, here we go. On August 22nd, Resident Evil, the official Resident Evil account on Twitter, posted the number 4, then enter, then the word itchy, period, then enter, then the word tasty, period.
They're going to reboot 4.
So I'm pretty confident that this was like a preemptive announcement for like a Resident Evil 4 remake that is coming at some point in the near future.
Because 4 was a lot of people's favorites, but I think it's dated, which is why I loved 8 so much. Yeah.
Yeah, the controls are quite
and I think
harsh.
I can't remember. But that's why I loved 8 so much, because 4 had that same system of Duke where you can buy ammo upgrades, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And that was like the best thing about 8, and that came from 4. And I really want to play 4, but people are like, no, don't. It's not very good now. So they are.
Well, now you might only have to wait a year or so, and then you can play it with new updated controls.
I'm so excited, dude.
It's Xbox did reply and said this tweet's a keeper. So Xbox obviously knows something's up.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
very keen.
Kind of exciting news. Yeah. That's one thing I did remember. I wanted to sneak in the episode.
Yes.
I saw it earlier in the week. I was like, oh, I should write that down and remember that. I didn't write it down, but luckily we brought up Resident Evil so I could remember it. Now, finally, gents, if you guys also as well haven't watched episode 3 of Marvel's What If, which was like the murder mystery episode with Nick Fury, probably stop listening now if you don't want to spoil for you. Because we are going to go into our thoughts on it, as we always do at the end of the episodes. So I guess, if you guys haven't watched it, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. If you did watch it, well done. You know what? I kind of liked it. It was kind of intriguing. It was like it sort of always kept you, I guess, a little bit on the edge of your seat because it was, like I said, a murder mystery type episode. It was cool to sort of see more of Nick Fury because we haven't really seen too much of him. The most we saw of Nick Fury was in the Captain Marvel movie, where like he had sort of the most screen time out of all the things he's been in, maybe bar a couple of the Avengers films. But it was cool to see him and sort of more of Agent Coulson too, because we all miss Agent Coulson. He's not sort of part of the main MCU lineup anymore. He probably can be now with all of the multiverse things coming back around, but it was cool to see him. But yeah, I quite liked this episode. It was cool to see sort of some of the Avengers come back too. A bit of a shame that Tony Stark wasn't voiced by RDJ. I kind of expected, because I feel like Marvel's not going to want to pay $5 million for him to say 13 lines or whatever of content. So kind of, I guess, a financially smart decision, but also kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, but you can't win them all, as they say. So I was still quite happy with the voice acting for who did play RDJ. He did quite well. It did sound like what Tony Stark would sound like. But yeah, what do you think of this episode, Jenz?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I still don't love What If, compared to WandaVision or whatever, but I enjoyed it. They
are very different shows.
Yeah, they are. Um,
No, it was kind of cool as well to see, like, I know when they were going back and sort of showcasing all of the original, like, Avengers that were coming out, like, we saw uh, that, like, famous shot of Iron Man, Tony Stark sitting up in the big donut,
yes.
eating a box of donuts, you know, when we saw Thor at the camp where Mjolnir fell down, like, how he came down, and it was, like, kind of cool to see the throwback to all of their, like, implementation into the MCU when they were
Yeah.
first revealed. Like, it was, yeah, it was kind of like a trip down memory lane.
The dialogue
I
was
guess.
really good in this too, I think.
Yeah,
The
it was
fun
really well
dialogue.
written, and yeah, like I liked that they all were like, oh my god, Thor, he's so glorious.
Yeah,
Like,
his
look at his
amazing
gorgeous
hair.
hair.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, that's real fun,
But yeah,
but
really
yeah.
cool. Like,
and I liked
the way they set it up, the episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I liked how it all played out. Like, it was sort of a slow burn of who's doing this, who's doing all these murders, who's killing off the Avengers. It was really sort of well played out, I guess. What did you think of the reveal at the end that Hank Pym, or Yellow Jacket, I guess, in this universe, was the person that was killing it?
Well, we kind of like
Were you
figured it
underwhelmed?
out with a little bit, but I also get it with his storyline in a way of why he was doing it.
Yeah, it made sense. Yeah.
It kind of, you know how people were fantasizing Ant-Man going up Thanos' butt and going
I
big.
still think that's a theory that's out there. I still think they should do that episode.
I thought
Kevin, email me. We
I was
can write up
waiting.
that script. Like,
I was waiting for something to happen because, like, we knew it was some sort of like Ant-Man or that sort of line of villain in this when they were beating up Scarlet.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't. There was no Thanos exploding up the butt, which was a shame.
Unfortunately, it'd be fun if they did sort of like have a little nod to that, like a little sort of like a little wink,
I think,
like, hey, we know you're out there.
I saw a poster image of like it.
Yeah.
But I don't know who tweeted
I saw the
that.
same one. I think I saw it on Twitter. Yeah. It was a fan. Yeah, it was like their what if version of what if.
Yeah.
But it's No, I kind of like the reveal. It was cool to see they got the actual actor for Hank Pym to come back because he's quite a big actor. Just for a couple of lines at the end there. And then sort of like the double cross where we find out that it was Loki that was impersonating Nick Fury, and he just sort of wanted to take over the world, and he took over the world, and the real Nick Fury was out there, and he called Captain. Like, it was a whole sort of unravel at the end there, which was quite fun to see play out. But I liked it. I kind of liked it. I'm excited for next week's episode. I think I saw
today
some. Well, it's out now. Yeah. What is it? I think I saw some screenshots that it's a Doctor Strange episode, I think.
Nice.
Which is exciting because, he can control realities, I guess, and things like that. So it'd be real interesting to see his what if episode.
And I just like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Because they can be real weird and wacky. Me too, man. I think he's just
great.
a good actor, Like,
British.
He's just an overall. Yeah. I get that.
What
I get that.
more
So it's
can
Tom
you
Holland.
get?
See, it's just, dude. I think
It's
is
the
it just
Brits.
British people?
It's the Brits. I'll tell you what.
Is it just British people? Is that what we're...
Is that
we discovered something?
I've known this.
Then why do so many people
for all my life?
Then why do so many people like Chris Hemsworth or who's the other Chris? Chris
Evans?
Chris. Yes. Why do people like those guys? One's Australian, one's American.
I mean, they're hunky.
What's the go?
But the thing is, see, you got Tom Holland and you've got Benedict Cumberbatch. They're scrawny men, but they're British. And then you've got Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth.
I mean,
they're like
Tom's
beef.
pretty. Like, he's shredded.
No, he's shredded, but he's not like massive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
He's like he looks like a normal body if he's clothed. But then you see
his slim thick.
Yeah,
His slim thick.
yeah.
You know.
And then you've got the Chris's who are like meatballs. They're like bodybuilder size.
Meatballs. I like that.
You know, and so that's what they've got going on. They got pretty face and the meatball shape, and then we've got the British accent with the tall and like lean body.
Yeah. Okay.
So that you know, you gotta you gotta balance it out. So yeah, which side are you?
That's right. Yeah, all right. Understandable. I get it now. I think I see it.
You get it.
Oh God. Well, I think we made it through. I think that's everything we needed to cover.
We ended on a weird note, but
you know, yeah, we covered as many bases as we possibly could, and we ended on Meatball Men. So
we need to
I think
do
a
like
pretty good
the
episode all in all.
conversation of just like casual talks of like either the Marvel men or women, or like I don't know, just something like an after dark episode.
We can plan that. We can plan that. We should, just like a 20-minute a week episode after dark.
Yeah,
did you
or like
see
just
the new
once a month.
Naked Chris Evans photo? Like, bro.
Where? Just go to Byron.
Yeah, well,
oh no, you're talking about Chris Evans. I was talking about Chris Hemsworth. Just move to
Evans, yeah,
Byron.
he's just, he floats around in Australia. It's great, you know. Did you see the clip of him? I don't know how long ago it was for, but the Today Show, I think, was on a golf course reading the weather, and he just happened to be there at the golf course, I think, playing golf or something as well.
That must be planned.
And he just saw a bunch of cameras. He just saw about, I think it was in the end, but like it seemed like it wasn't. But yeah, they made it look like that he just saw a bunch of cameras, came up, was like, "Can I read the weather?" And
oh
they were
wow,
like, yeah, okay, go for it. And he read the weather that day.
Oh cool.
It was kind of crazy, but I just like that he's, you know, so nice that he's around Australia and things, that he just walks up to people and it's like, "Yo, what's up?
Yeah,
I'm that guy."
I think there's been a moment like because Sacha Baron Cohen's wife is Australian, so they've been around in like Sydney together. Very jealous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But having said that, Jenz, we might finally get our lanky British men down under, because I'm pretty sure I saw a plan that they're going ahead here in Sydney, in Penrith. I think the government got some land that they are turning into a state-of-the-art film stage and like theater thing, sort of, I guess, similar to the ones that are in Atlanta where they film a lot of the Marvel movies. And I don't know if you remember from like a year or two ago now, where the rumors came out that Marvel were considering moving a lot of their productions down to Brisbane and Sydney, because that's where they've shot a lot of the Thor films quite successfully, you know.
Why
so
not South
we could get them down here.
Australia?
We could get them down here because you guys don't have like, I think they usually use Brisbane and Sydney quite well because of their cities, because they're very easy to turn into like a New Yorkified skyline, I guess. You know?
I think SA
like, it's
do a
quite
lot of
simple to
like
do that.
effects and
So-
stuff.
Yeah. You guys got like the big land, whereas we have like the big tall towers for city structures and things like that. So, but yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't really read into the article, but it was kind of interesting and very
Would be
exciting
cool.
because I can finally be an extra on a Spider-Man
be
movie. Finally, you know, like I
Are you
Spider-Man
gonna
fan number
be
4.
Tom
like,
Holland's
I was built
body
for the
double?
role. I was built for the role. Please, Tom, please. That's all I ever want in life. That's all I want. I just want to be thrown around by Doc Ock,
Whoa.
you know? On a crash mat. Please. Anywho, we're getting way out of hand. This is out of pocket.
Sorry.
I think that's everything we got to talk about. There's
I
nothing
think so.
you wanted to bring up, was there, Jenz?
No.
Yeah. Anywho's, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.